I don't want to come off as a hypocrite, right? Because I'm the guy that said, you know, in 2025, bro, we don't really need long title reigns. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's unnecessary. If you could do a great job with booking, a short title reign. It's not necessarily about the length, but it's about what happens during the reign. However you feel about Jey Uso was the world heavyweight champion and he did not defend at any major PLE or just a PLE, regular PLE period, after winning at WrestleMania, not at Backlash, not at Money in the Bank. And he didn't even really get to defend it at Saturday Night Main Event. They didn't really give him a chance. And listen, I'm objective. His promos in the last few weeks were bad. So much so that he was forgetting his lines and he had to get fed his lines by Gunther. I'm a Gunther fan. I loved Gunther's reign. IC champ, King of the Ring, World Heavyweight Champion. I never switched up on Gunther. I was always happy that Jey Uso got the opportunity because that IC title reign left a sour taste in my mouth. But they gave us the moment that some of us wanted, which was Jey Uso finally realizing a dream and becoming a world champion in WWE, and I'm forever grateful for that. However, if I'm being completely honest, bro, this is nasty. However you feel about Jey Uso, cool, but he really didn't get an opportunity. I mean, 50 days is 30 more than he was champ for what, 21 days, 28 days? He was world heavyweight champ for 50 or 51 days or something like that. And a lot of people, that dislikes on YouTube, all that type of stuff, Jey Uso did what he was supposed to do. Sold the merch, got the crowd involved. His promos, yes, in the last couple of weeks they were bad, but we didn't even really get to see him defend at a major PLE. He couldn't have lost at SummerSlam. He couldn't have he couldn't have defended his championship at Night of Champions. And I don't have a problem with Gunther being a two-time champ. This is how you build stars. But at the end of the day, bro, even after winning the belts, this still feel like a slight to Jey Uso. Like he's just really treated like the mascot the whole time, even as world heavyweight champion. Is it his fault for getting yeet over? Is it TKO WWE Triple H's fault for, you know what I'm saying? I don't know who to blame for this, but it's not good. It's really not good. And I can't, go too crazy. It's midnight, guys. I'm not even supposed to be dropping an upload because I said I was going, take a day, but I had to speak on it. And listen, I actually enjoyed Monday Night Raw, to be honest. I thought every match was pretty damn good, in my opinion. I enjoyed the segments. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed all that. So I will give my Monday Night Raw review, but I had to you know, I had to talk about the Jey Uso situation first, bro. Man. Shout out to Jey Uso, man. He wasn't even supposed to make it this far. He was never supposed to be a singles champion in WWE. So you accomplished some great things. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Gunther. If whoever win the King of the Ring just takes the belt off of Gunther immediately, because Gunther doesn't need another long title reign. If the right person on Raw win King of the Ring and beat Gunther, it's a satisfying reign. Because a lot of y'all was switching up on Gunther anyway, talking about he's a bum now. He had to face Pat McAfee. He had to do this and that. So a lot of people was about to switch up on Gunther. So maybe they made that call to, having a heel like Gunther as champ is good for the business, but I think Jey Uso deserved better. I'll probably talk about that a little bit more, but I want to talk about Ron Killings. Cut the dreads off I'm sorry, y'all be getting pissy about that. Cut the locks off on live TV and said, nah, bro, I'm serious now. I had to shed the old me. I like that. So now I want to see Ron Killings versus John Cena, a serious match. against a serious opponent, the first black NWA champion, a multi-time NWA champion, by the way, in Ron Killings. That's what I want to see. And they need to make it happen, even if it's not for the championship. And you know why it might not be for the championship? Because what did I say? Now more than ever, it would not make sense for Seth Rollins to cash in on Gunther. He needs to cash in and win the WWE Championship. I don't think Seth should have won the Money in the Bank, but if you're going to go down this route, you have to make the right decision. CM Punk versus John Cena. Go back and watch the last stream. I said that match is going to happen. I did not think it was going to happen this soon. And you know what? Ron Killings is going to actually help John Cena's heel turn because John Cena did call him out and say, "Our truth, just a sideshow. He a circus. The only relevant thing he did was me. He was always a comedy, blah, blah, blah." Good. I like that out of you, John, because now you might actually get some heat. You might actually get some heat. So the John Cena heel turn can be saved, and it might be saved by the most unexpected savior in Ron Killings. But I am happy to say that John Cena and CM Punk has to have a match. They had to have a match before John Cena retired. John Cena and CM Punk is a rivalry that is historic for people, around, out that time, you know what I'm saying? The early 2010s. So I'm looking forward to that match, actually. Do I expect the cash in? Yes. And it makes sense because John Cena versus CM Punk, Seth Rollins don't like CM Punk. So cashing in during that match and making it a triple threat match and pinning CM Punk, because WWE likes to save people. You still save John Cena in doing that. So why not have Seth Rollins cash in and he makes it a triple threat and he beats CM Punk, becomes WWE champion. John Cena does not have to retire or have his last match as champion. I'm assuming before his final appearance, he'll end up somehow turning back face anyway. So you know what? This is the way to do it. This is the way to do it. I wholeheartedly believe that. And then we could get Seth Rollins versus CM Punk in a little short rivalry for the WWE Championship. And hey, SmackDown could use Seth Rollins, even though he's not going to fully go over to SmackDown regardless. But I think that would be a good decision to make, guys. But shout out to Ron Killings though, man. That was dope, especially for Black culture. For the people who don't know, cutting off your locks is a significant thing. You know how long it took to grow them things, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like that was powerful, bro. I really enjoyed that segment. You know, let's talk about King and Queen of the Ring. Can we not have surprises? Why couldn't Asuka coming back be a surprise? Like, I know you're trying to sell tickets and stuff like that. You're trying to build anticipation, but I really miss like certain surprises. Like, y'all saw the surprise when Ron Killings came back at Money in the Bank and how much interest and how much ratings and likes that generated. Asuka is still beloved by the fans. So a surprise Oscar return for Queen of the Ring tournament would have been fire. Now I don't know if she's gonna win because that match is kind of like Stephanie Vicarious in that match as well. I don't know which route they're gonna go. But let me also say this. There is gonna be a surprise for King of the Ring, who's gonna be that fourth person. And there's only one option. It has to be Karrion Kross. If it's not Karrion Kross, it's over. They're gonna let Karrion Kross walk because you let Sami Zayn just win, right? Sami Zayn won his King of the Ring qualifying match. So you know what that means, right? Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross can actually meet in the semifinals, if I'm not mistaken. Do you know what that would do for the story? That would bring the story all together, guys. If it's not Karrion Kross, then Karrion Kross is walking because there's no way you keep him around. Karrion Kross has to be the mystery opponent. The pop, the reception, the likes, and then he wins the qualifying match. Come on, bro. And listen, that's a good surprise, but we could have had two surprises. Why not? That builds anticipation. someone who doesn't know Oscar was gonna be in, and then they have tickets to the next show, and they show up. Oh man, people are gonna show up anyway. TKO, what's going on with y'all? Chad Gable took what, three losses back to back to back to back because he was El Grande. If you don't want to count the Money in the Bank loss, cool. But um, you know, I think Chad Gable should definitely, after the work he's done, after the interest he's gained, if not AAA World Champion as El Grande, IC champion, IC champion, something. This guy should get something, bro. Like, come on, man. You talk about organic, bro. That goofy ass character should not be working right now, but it is working. It's super working. It's super over. Let's do Mr. Iguana versus El Grande. And then let's get Chad Gable a title shot, the AAA, excuse me, El Grande a title shot at the AAA title. You could put that on whatever show. It's gonna Imagine putting that on SummerSlam. That'd be very unexpected. That could be a night one match. Why not? And have El Grande win. I don't think that buries AAA as a promotion. Just like what you see what Trick Williams is doing for TNA, that would elevate. Because AAA already has some bangers at World Collide. So why not? Roxanne Perez winning was a pleasant surprise. I'm very happy with that result. Roxanne Perez shows out every time you put her in something meaningful. Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, Money in the Bank. Now she's gonna show out in the Queen of the Ring tournament. She should probably make it to the final. Whether it don't matter if it's against Jade Cargill, it don't matter. She should make it to the final and represent Raw against whoever from SmackDown, which should be Jade Cargill in my opinion. That was very surprising. I genuinely thought Rhea Ripley was gonna win, not gonna lie. But Rhea Ripley, she can find other things to do. Honestly, we get Rhea Ripley at Evolution and SummerSlam and no title is involved. That's a win-win. That helps Rhea get back into the spotlight by being out of the spotlight. Sometimes you need to take a step back to move forward. The Liv Morgan and Roxanne dynamic, I love that backstage segment with Finn Balor and Dominic. Finn Balor, I like what he's doing. I like his work as of right now. Should he beat Dominic Mysterio for the IC championship? No. No, I think Dominic is super duper over right now. You you work your way into making Dom a baby face, and you have to do that by having Finn Balor being the master manipulator, trying to break up, Liv Morgan and Dom, and then Dom triumphs, and then Liv Morgan, celebrates with Dominic Mysterio. But they need to defend those women's tag team championships, by the way. What was that? It was only four matches, if I'm not mistaken, which is fine because the segments, the R-Truth, excuse me, the Ron Killing segment, the John Cena, I think this Raw was entertaining. To get back to the Gunther versus Jay, I don't know how to feel because at the end of the day, like I said, Jay, it go both ways. Like they didn't give him much opportunity as far as like, actually defending on, he not only did he not defend on the PLEs. He, couldn't even be the main event on the PLEs. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not good, bro. That's not good. But y'all know how I want to get down, bro. I want to scream and I ain't gonna do all that though, man. It's very late and I am very tired. I gotta wake up at like 6 in the morning. But I appreciate Jey Uso, bro. If you don't like him, cool, bro. We don't gotta argue in the comment section. But I'm just saying I enjoyed him. Jey Uso's run as main event Jey Uso, Yeet, all that, help, introduce, my son to wrestling. And it was a good, opportunity to bond with my son over Jey Uso. Um, you know, doing the yeeting and stuff like that. So I'm definitely appreciative of it. And he was for the kids, man. He was for the kids, man. The kids have fun and they'll still have fun. He can still beat him without the belt, but I do wish that they at least let him drop it at SummerSlam, let him defend at a major PLE and be what a champion is supposed to be. That's just my opinion on that. But I do want to see Ron Killings versus John Cena. If the belt not involved, then Ron Killings is gonna beat him, which can, shout out to Ricky the Shadow, try somewhat get him to transition back to being a face. Because I think John Cena needs to finish as a face and not a heel. We don't have a lot of opportunity to do that because he got like what, either 20 something or less than 20 appearances left, but I think we should do that. I want John Cena to go out the right way. The heel turn hasn't been great, but this Ron Killings angle can help the heel turn. CM Punk and John Cena are going to have a good match. And if Seth Rollins cashes in, makes it a triple threat and win, then that will be a good ending to that. You know what I'm saying? And then we could transition to other things. It opens up opportunities for more people to do things. And I think Karrion Kross should be the mystery guy and win King of the Ring because LA Knight should win King of the Ring, but hmm, well, I guess that is an option. If Seth Rollins cashes in successfully and then LA Knight gets a shot at Seth Rollins, then you could have LA Knight win the belt. But I don't think they're going to go that far. I genuinely don't know what's going to happen, which is a very good thing. I love being surprised, but there's just so many different options we can go with. But I'm mainly focused on because interest. Ron Killings and John Cena is interest, right? The Naomi, holding the briefcase is interest. The King and Queen of the Ring tournament, I'm interested. I'm interested because I genuinely don't know. I think Roxanne should be in the finals. If we get Roxanne versus Stephanie, and then we get Roxanne versus Jade Cargill, I think that would be good for the business, in my opinion. The women's division would be on fire at that point. I believe. Um, Chad Gable, man, El Grande. I hate that Chad Gable gotta be Shorty G and El Grande. It's gotta be something stupid. Just let Chad Gable be Chad Gable. Chad Gable is nice, bro. But if he wins the AAA championship as El Grande, then take the mask off and reveal that I can be Luchadors. I was beating Luchadors as El Grande the whole time. I'll be cool with that. But the Liv Morgan and Roxanne angle, Roxanne got to go far in the tournament. I don't want Liv to cost Roxanne in the tournament. I could see that happening, but the more successful Roxanne is, the more turmoil it creates for the Judgment Day, which would help to transition that story. Like, I'm interested in the Judgment Day implosion, me personally, because it has to end with Finn and Dom at SummerSlam. It has to. Let me talk about this though. EO saying that Nikki Bella paved the way for them. I mean, yes, but it was kind of unnecessary, I think. I don't think I mean, whatever. Pay homage, cool. Nikki Bella, was a part of the women's evolution. Nikki Bella, and Total Divas and Total Bellas did help transition the women to mainstream. But like I'm not the biggest Bella's fan, but it is what it is. I'm not going to tear her down. You know what I'm saying? I'll talk about that on stream more in depth, but I think that was kind of unnecessary in my opinion. Um, Sami Zayn winning was a shock. I'm not gonna lie. I thought Braun Breaker was gonna win. But that puts him in his place because at the end of the day, it can't be they're not gonna break up Seth's faction that fast. If Braun Breaker would have won, that would have been a threat to what Seth Rollins is trying to do, which would have been a good story, but you don't want to do that too quickly. I think Braun Breaker will be the one to end up challenging Seth Rollins once Seth Rollins does successfully cash in anyway. And maybe that's how they put the belt on Braun Breaker. So I'm cool with that. Dominic didn't need the win, obviously. He's the IC champion. And then Penta. I mean, bro, y'all have to understand, bro. Penta's not getting buried, but just because a guy like Penta, Malachi Black, et cetera, they don't gotta be the top guys, bro. Penta's in a good position. He's gonna have some good matches. He's gonna do some good things. Penta will be a mid-card champion if him and Ray Phoenix don't just hurry up and unite and become the Lucha Bros in WWE. So I'm not worried about Penta. As far as the women go, Kyrie Sane, at least she got one win. At least, you know what I'm saying? At least she got a win. But I didn't expect her to win. I don't expect Oscar to win, not gonna lie. Um Liv Morgan, the losing is gonna help elevate the story with the Judgment Day. And then, like I said, Rhea Ripley didn't need to win this. She don't need to be, because if you're not gonna pull the trigger and do Rhea versus Jade or something like that, there's no point. There's no point. There's no point. And Bianca isn't. And Bianca is still nursing her fingers, so she's not going to be in it. So if we can't get Bianca and Rhea for Queen of the Ring, there's no point. So it's fine. Overall, I enjoyed Raw. I thought it was a solid episode, and I liked what I saw. But yeah, I know I want to crash out, man. Let me smoke one from my dog Ron Killings, man. Let me hold it like a cigarette. That would be dope if you came out with a cigarette. But like, comment, subscribe. I go by the name of Black Couch Booking. Follow me on Instagram at Real Black Couch Booking. Join my Discord and join the Patreon for exclusive wrestling and life content. Thank you guys for the love and support as always. I am not uploading on Wednesday. So I'm gonna take my break on Wednesday. So I'll see y'all either Thursday or Friday, man. Peace out. You know what? That was kind of cringe, but I love Jey Uso. Peace out.